Welcome to Movie House Cinemas. Popcorn? Yes, please. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the movie. Reclining chairs? Don't mind if I do. Action, thriller, romance, we got it all. Discover the cinema today. Movie House Cinemas, home of the movies.
Good evening, and welcome along to Rob and Elliott tonight. It's good to have your company with us once again. Coming up on the show, we'll take a look at some brand new research that tells us we're a nation of people obsessed with lounging around in our pyjamas. Kim Kelly will discuss this further with a Gogglebox star, Scarlett Moffatt.
Girls, stay in your pyjamas. There's no need to put on makeup.
I mean, 3% of people go to the tip in the pyjamas.
Local blues music legend Lee Hedley joins us in the studio for a rather emotional interview. Did you once electrocute yourself on stage, or did I dream that?
Yeah, but not on purpose. I've done some mad things, you know. The electrics went up, there was a hole that right through my hand, you could actually see right through my hand. I had to get plastic surgery, it split my collarbone in two, there was an exit hole there. I was paralysed down the left-hand side for a year.
We'll find out why dance teacher Victoria Barkley is on a mission to get everybody dancing this weekend.
The benefits of live music, dancing, will be in full flow.
So if people want to come along, do they need tickets?
No,
how does it work?
Not at all. They literally just put on their glad rags
Yeah.
or whatever they want and come to 2 Royal Avenue on Sunday from 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
We'll find out all about Moonlight Dream, the brand new production from Maiden Voyage dance company. And we'll have some brand new music from Lucia Harper. Well, to begin with this week, we've got to talk about the big movie event. The Oscars are happening this weekend. And the movie maestro Tim Burton joined me earlier on today to give us his prediction for the Oscars 2025. Here's what happened. So we have to begin the show this week by talking about the big movie event of the year. Yes, it is Oscars time once again. And let's get some predictions for this year's ceremony. The movie maestro himself, Tim Burton, joins us now. How are you today?
Robin, good to see you. I'm fine, thank you. And we have a suitable backdrop. This is the Oscar, the Oscar Central. This is in America, the Royce Hall, which is an incredible venue which is transferred and transported into this kind of movie magic realm. But this year we are hoping to have a few significant kind of benchmarks, because we have the 10th lady nominated for an Oscar for Best Director, which is quite significant. So big congratulations to Coralie Forget for her directing talent with The Substance, Demi Moore's film, which is so good. I mean, it's far too long, but it's good. They could have cut the last 20, 25 minutes, but it's very, I mean, have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet, no.
Highly recommended. And basically it's very much a tale about, the de-aging and the aging woes of Hollywood and performers, and having to cope with trying to stay fresh and look fresh. Something that you and I have, managed to cope with. my theatrical scarf, trying to hide certain things. But it's one of these films which is so current, because, as we know, people are kind of so obsessed with how they look visually. So that's key. And then Diane Warren, I mean, we both love our radio, and when we think to how many Diane Warren songs we've played on the air over the years.
Yeah, I mean,
thousands, hundreds of thousands.
And hundreds of movie songs as well from Diane Warren.
Totally, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of her first big hits was Laura Branigan's brilliant Self-Control.
Yeah.
And we know she won Grammys for like Starships, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. Brilliant song from Mannequin. She wrote Cher's If I Can Turn Back Time. So there's so many significant songs, but believe it or not, she's never won an Oscar for song, which is kind of bizarre.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, this is her 16th Oscar nomination now this year. She did win a special kind of honorary pat on the back Oscar a couple of years ago, but if she won this year, it would be quite a coup. And I mean, not to dwell too much on the sadness, but I mean, she lost her home in the terrible LA fires just a few weeks ago. So I mean, this would certainly be a good way to cheer her up. But hopefully, yeah, she stands a good chance of winning this year. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Exactly. Now, we had the Screen Actors Guild Awards this week as well, with big wins for Timothée Chalamet and Demi Moore. So is this an indication as to what's going to happen then on Oscars night?
Yeah, I do think Timothée Chalamet definitely has an in for doing a superb job as Bob Dylan in Unknown. I mean, that's a film which is so clever. Edward Norton's so good in that as well. And yeah, he does stand a very good chance. I think he will. Conclave, another huge winner at the Guild Awards, winning the best ensemble cast, and it is an incredible cast. You've got Ralph Fiennes, John Lithgow, Stanley Tucci, really first class. Isabella Rossellini, and I thought it was very classy of her to give a kind of shout out to the Pope at the ceremony last night to kind of say well wishes. But it's a very clever film, Conclave, and that could win best film actually. In addition to the cast having nods and certainly some technical awards, because I think Val Brucater, who wrote the music for Conclave, stands a good chance because it's a very dynamic and in-your-face kind of score, because Conclave it's in certain kind of acts, and whenever there's a scene change or letting us know if there's another no vote, then it's basically this kind of pluck of chords. So it's a very musical film in that sense. So I think that stands a good chance. But what's your thoughts on The Brutalist, Robin?
Well, The Brutalist, I mean, everybody's talking Adrian Brody for Best Actor as well. He's one of the forerunners, isn't he?
True, yes. Great performance, but I think others have the edge over him, he is certainly a favorite, and we know historically, of course, he got so much attention for The Pianist, the Roman Polanski film many years ago. But no, I don't think he'll get The Brutalist. I do think Brutalist has a chance of film, along with Conclave. But for The Brutalist, I think one of the key winners is going to be the sound design, the editing, and the cinematography, because I mean it's such a cinematic film. I mean, visually it's outstanding. Shot in VistaVision, which is this classic format. Vertigo from Hitchcock was one of the first films in VistaVision. So it's very much a movie lover's format to appreciate the art. So I do think The Brutalist has a great chance of winning those technical awards, and certainly Daniel Blumberg for music. Another great musical film.
I want to mention Kieran Culkin as well, who's an actor who I just think is an absolute genius, a superb actor. He deserves something, doesn't he?
He does. Real Pain is a really great film. Jesse Eisenberg wrote and directed it. And I love how he credits his wife, who basically inspired him to write and direct it. It is a really good film, set mostly in Poland. And Kieran Culkin, he has the edge over his brother, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's certainly managed to gain our attention because he was so good in Succession, as we know. And for this film, I mean, he's so irritating, but he's supposed to be, in a good way, because he's seriously troubled. He's a very troubled young man, and we find out why during the course of the film. But it's a superb performance. Yes, I would like to think, because we know Kieran Culkin won a few awards, BAFTA just a couple of weeks ago for this performance. So I would love to see him and get the award, and hopefully he'll be in attendance.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's move on to the actual show on the night of the Oscars. I mean, who do we know? Who's coming on as presenters? Are we going to see any controversial moments this year?
Well, yeah, there's often a risk of that, isn't there? Well, we know Conan O'Brien, the American talk show host and comedian, is leading the show. So because of we always know that last year's winners are going to be back to present some awards. So we'll be treated to the great Robert Downey Jr. We'll have Emma Stone, so they'll be presenting some awards. But we do know that some of the other presenters on the night are going to be the likes of Willem Dafoe, who was so good in Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And also we'll have Whoopi Goldberg, who, we're a similar age. You'll remember her fantastic, job at hosting the Oscars for quite a few years on the trot. She was a great Oscar host, so she'll be presenting awards too. So, no, it's going to be an exciting night, and it's on UTV from 1 a.m. So only saddos like me are going to be up that late, booking Monday off work or pulling a sickie. But it's one of these nights where you want to be involved. You feel like you're part of it. It's quite exciting just knowing you're watching it happen live, and it's one of the few award shows still televised live. Because BAFTA, for instance, unfortunately, the BBC have never had the nerve to broadcast it live ever since certain things which we better not repeat were done live a few years ago. Or maybe it's all down to the Brit Awards.
Maybe, exactly. Yeah, indeed.
89, yeah.
So your big predictions then for the big night. Best actor then, Timothée Chalamet?
Timothée Chalamet. I do think best film will probably be The Brutalist.
Yeah.
For actress, I would love to see Cynthia Erivo win for Wicked. She bells Elphaba, and no one, I think, can say, with such conviction. It's so many wonderful moments in that film, but defying gravity, what a song. Whenever she finds her broom and she goes, "It's me," and all this. And one thing I certainly recommend is to see Wicked in IMAX on the big screen at Cineworld, Odyssey Belfast, because they're showing it on Saturday, the 8th of March. It's a special kind of IMAX day. So I think it's 12 midday, and it's the best way of experiencing that film. Best sound, best visuals, and all the music coming at you through the speakers. It's quite an incredible, visceral feast, for the senses. So hopefully Cynthia wins for the best actress.
Well, there we go. Well, Tim, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your predictions. And, have a good Oscars night.
Yes, thank you. I'll get extra nachos in.
Right, time for some brand new music, and I recently saw local singer-songwriter Lucia Harper support James Shewish at the Empire here in Belfast. She recorded a video recently with James. It's called Hiding My Heart, and here she is, Lucia Harper.
And so this is how the story went. I met someone by accident. He blew me away. He blew me away. And it was in the darkest of my days. We took my sorrow, he took my pain and buried them away. You buried them away. And I wish I could lay down beside you when the day is done and wake up to your face against the morning sun. But like everything I've ever known, you'll disappear one day. So I spend my whole life hiding my heart away. Dropped you off at the train station, put a kiss on top of your head and watched you wave. I watched you wave. Then I went on home to my skyscrapers and neon lights and wedding papers that I call home. I call that home. And I wish I could lay down beside you when wake up to your face against the morning sun. But like everything I've ever known, you'll disappear one day. So I'll spend my whole life hiding my heart away. Woke up feeling heavy-hearted. I'm going back to where I started.
Great new video from Lucia Harper. That's called Hiding My Heart, a young lady that you're going to hear a lot about in the near future. We'll be chatting to a local blues music legend, Lee Hedley. He'll be here in the studio right after these.
Heading to the North Coast, the Jet Centre in Coleraine offers entertainment for everyone. There's an 8-screen movie house cinema with all the best movies, 10-pin bowling, a massive arcade, soft play for the wee ones. Outdoors, there's a mini fun park and gem mining, plus an 18-hole floodlit mini golf course. Rain or shine, there's something for everyone here at the Jet Centre. Find out more at thejetcentre.co.uk.
Okay, my next guest on the show tonight has been a well-known name in the Belfast blues scene for many, many years. He's recently had some time off, but he's back and he's got a gig. We're going to talk about that in a second as well. I'm pleased to say Lee Hedley joins us in the studio. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Robin. I am good. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. We'll talk about what's been going on over the last year in a second. But
Okay.
let's talk about the career first, because there's always been a real rich blues heritage in Belfast.
Yes.
But for you, where did your love for the blues come from?
I was raised on good music, you know, good soul music stuff. And dear family friend, Sam Hood was a blues stalwart here. And we went, my dad was roadie for him, and we got very close. And that started me on the music scene. Then a chance encounter, I happened to bump into Jackie Flavelle one night in Donegal, and he was playing with Jim Daly, and they had a Tuesday night session. And I was working as a barman at nights, and I got involved in the karaoke in the pub that I was working in because the guy who ran it was off. Mm-hmm. And I discovered accidentally that I could hold a tune. And then, but I didn't really like the pops. I liked the blues stuff. So I asked Jackie Flavelle one night, can I join in? And Jackie says, yeah, learn this song for next week. Mm-hmm. So I learned it, went back, and it was like an epiphany. I was like, I'm going to do this. Yeah. Forever. Yeah. And then I went and found a band, and I joined a band in 1991, and literally it's been my life ever since.
And could you play the harmonica before that, or is that something you had to learn over time?
Yeah, I just picked it up. Yeah. I actually, Don Baker was an Irish.
I know Don.
You know Don, yeah. We're really close friends. Yeah. But I went to a music shop and session music, and they had a magazine called Beginners Blues Harmonica, and I used to drive to work in the morning from Bangor to Belfast with a harmonica in one hand and the steering wheel in the other with a tape on. Don Baker's Beginners
Wouldn't be
Blues.
strictly legal now, I wouldn't imagine.
No, I didn't care anyway, you know. And I didn't even care. And so it took me roughly 45 minutes to get from Bangor to Boucher Road, Belfast. And whenever I was going up to my day job, I was learning for 45 minutes, rewinding the tape. Remember tapes? Yeah. Rewind the tape and then playing a wee riff and then going, I couldn't get it. You know, checking the indicators and checking the rearview mirrors and everything back on it again. And eventually, after a few weeks, I had nailed it. And then I started introducing it in the band, and then that became my main instrument. And then a few years later, I met Don, and I was starstruck, and I was like, Don, listen, sorry, I don't want to be a melter, but you're like my, you're my go-to. You're the guy that I learned from, and you don't even know it yet. I was talking to Don, he couldn't even remember that he had a book out to teach people. He says, they must release that without even telling me. Have you still got a copy of it? I was like, it's probably 3 out, And but we're actually really close friends. I would go down and stay with him, and we would do concerts together and stuff over the years. And I was talking to him last week on the phone, actually, rang him, see how he was doing. I was in Tanzania on holiday, so we'll hook up next week or something.
And it seemed for years you were always gigging. It seems you're working really hard over the years. And I mean, you worked all over the world as well, didn't you?
Well, I've been everywhere. I mean, all over Europe, Eastern Europe, Africa, America, been there, and I played in Memphis, I've been in Nashville, I've been in, I did a private party once for Colonel Gaddafi, and you know.
How did that come about? That's a bit mad, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we were in Spain at the time actually, and I was going into an internet cafe to check on the emails, you know, at the band website, see anybody looking for us, and it was an email just how much would it cost for to get you to North Africa for a private party.
It's been Libya, wasn't it?
It was Libya.
Yeah.
So I was like, whereabouts in North Africa? I mean, you're only talking, only really is you got Egypt, you've got Libya, and you've got Tunisia. Which one is it?
Yeah.
It's Libya. I'm like, Libya? Are we allowed to? And then I had said, are we allowed to go to Libya? You know, or can you get back if you get in? Can you get out?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So we had to get our the whole band. We had to get our passports converted to Arabic and go to a mosque in Dublin and get them all changed and get the government to get us a visa. And then they sent us a jet, and we went to Stansted and got on the jet and straight in, just the band, and there was more people on the plane serving us drinks and stuff than there was members of the band, and we just went over and done a private party for Gaddafi.
That's rock and roll, isn't it?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
And did he speak to you after? Did he come over and...
No personal contact with him at all. But I mean, all his right hand man and his son and different things we were talking to and involved in eating and drinking with, but the alcohol was banned there. There's no alcohol there, so we're like, oh, what are we going to do? So we'll maybe have a beer or something, you know. And they were like, is there any pubs down? Where would you go for a drink? And they were like, there's no alcohol in Libya, you idiot. It's a Muslim country. But if you need alcohol, we can give you fig poaching. So they were feeding us with fig poaching all week.
Wow.
But in these paper Coca-Cola cups. And we were just going back up. Another drop of that Coca-Cola, please, you know. And that was lovely. It was lovely. For about a week, you know, and then it flew us back again.
Exactly.
And no, it's nuts.
Yeah, now you worked with one of the guys as well who was in Muddy Waters band, didn't you?
Yeah, I did indeed. I did 3 tours with him, John Primer. And he flew over from Chicago and we did an Irish tour about 2005, I think. And we got on like a house on fire. And he says, you know, can I come back? And I was like, of course you can come back. So we arranged it for a couple of years later, and he was obviously touring mostly, you know, around America. But when he came to Europe, he took his own band. But when he came to Ireland, he used my band as backing band, you know. And I didn't sing. I was a sideman for him. I stepped back, let him sing and play guitar, and I just played harmonica and led the band, and we did that 3 times. And then we worked with Buddy Guy's brother, Phil Guy. Wow. We did a tour with him. That was his last tour. He had pancreatic cancer, and he didn't even know. I was carrying his amp and his guitar because he was so his back was killing him. And we were walking down the long corridor in the hotels in Dublin, and we stayed in a couple of different places. And he says, but the receptionist had put us like away at the furthest room at the back, and he goes, oh yeah, I get it. He says, put all the black guys at the back of the hotel, you know. And this is the sort of crack we had. He said, why are you so sore? You need to get that checked out. And he thought, we'd just done like a 13-day tour of Mexico, and he thought that this was him sitting on the bus all those days. But it turned out it was pancreatic cancer. We didn't see him again. And that was very sad. I really wanted to tour with him again. You know?
And did you ever think about moving to America on a full-time basis? Or?
No, No, I'm a home bird.
Yeah.
And I found that out because I did get offered a 6-year contract in 2008 to go and be signed under ZZ Top's management. Yeah. So Bill Ham, who was their manager, approached me in early 2008 and gave me a 6-year deal, which was more than I ever dreamed of, you know. Yeah. But when it came down to signing the actual contract, and my wife and kids would have been financially secure for 6 years, extendable to 9. But the crux was I could only come home once in June for a week and once in December for a week.
Yeah.
And my daughter was doing 11 plus, Amy. And sorry.
You're okay.
I couldn't go. I just decided, you know.
Your family was more important.
More important. And it was everything that I had worked for, and but it meant more to me to stay with the girls until they grew up. I remember saying to Bill Hambill, America'll still be there when my girls are old enough to come with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so the girls are grown up now?
They're grown up now, and But I've no interest in going now.
No.
I've no interest. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Feels like a lifetime ago, and it's funny, you be careful what you wish for, because you might get it, but when I got it, I didn't want it. Oh, well, I did want it, but I had more important things to do.
Yeah.
And I was a father and a husband, and that was more important to me than going gallivanting around America. It was easy top for 6 years. So, and my whole life probably would have been completely different. You know, like I wouldn't be sitting here probably now. I probably would have been dead. That's the God's honest truth.
Because you've done the whole rock and roll to excess then, would you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm inside, deep down, I'm a rocket. And I don't know if I would have survived it.
Yeah.
That's the God's honest truth. Knowing what I know now the last
Yes,
few years.
yeah.
And, but I'm glad I made the move. I made the right decision, no regrets. But I'm happy to stay here, and I'm happy to go home, and I'm happy to do a few gigs, festivals in Europe, and come back and forth. But it wouldn't appeal to me moving.
Yeah.
I like Ireland.
Yeah.
I like it too much, you know.
The last couple of years haven't been easy.
No, I developed substance addictions really heavily, and binge drinking, and so I had to take a bit of time out, you know. I started self-harming actually, and I couldn't understand what was going on with my system. I didn't know what. I've never been that person, you know, and you do hear mental health breaking down. And we couldn't put our finger on it, so we went and got help and got. I spent 2 years going to AA and researching psychology and studying up on neurology and trying to figure out and it worked.
Yeah.
I was able to bring the drinking right under control. I got counselling from the mental health. I got clean, and I've never felt clearer headed in my life, you know, than I do now. Now, for the last 18 years, I've been on, you know, antidepressants and everything, you know, but I'm completely off them now. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't even take an aspirin.
Right.
I get up in the
yeah.
morning, basically have a breakfast and go.
Yeah.
No tablets, nothing. And that's the first for me in a long time. So I've managed to reel my demons back under control. And yet there is help out there if you ask for it, you know. The NHS have been brilliant. The addiction teams, Newton Ards, have been brilliant. I was in Ward 15 in Downpatrick for a bit. And it's all on the up and up. And that's why, and now, do you know what, it's time, because I had to go away, I had to pull away from the music.
Yes, yeah.
You know, I had to stop going into pubs, I had to stop going to festivals, and I had to lie low because I wanted to just lie in a corner.
Yes, yeah.
But I'm out the other side of that now, and I'm emotional about it because I'm still in shock. I'm still grieving from the breakdown of the marriage, and so I want to put myself back into something creative and get back on the scene again, you know.
Because that's what you do. I mean,
You know,
as a musician, it's kind of all you know, really, isn't it? You can't really do anything else.
You can try and suppress it. I kept pushing it down, but I kept coming out sideways.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what I tried to do, push it down, kept coming out sideways. So I knew at some point I had to go back to music, but I couldn't go back to music when I was in that dark place.
Yes, yeah.
Because I think I wouldn't have returned. I wouldn't have survived, you know.
Yeah.
And when you're an artist, you can't suppress something like this. 'Cause when it runs deep, you have to go with it. And I was trying to keep it down. I survived, and I'm lucky, touch wood, that I got a second chance at doing this. And thought, right, I'm clean, sober, I can have a social drink now, and that's it, take it or leave it. I need to get back to what I'm doing best. I want my old life back. I want Lee Hedley back.
Well, that's what you're going to start to do. 13th of March, you're playing the Deer's Head.
Yeah, 13.
What can we expect from that night? Are we going to hear new material, or what are we going to hear?
I don't really plan too much. A lot of bands work out sets and they work out this. We don't work off a set.
Yeah.
I literally read the crowd when I get there, read my mood, maybe meditate for a bit, and then just go out on stage and go, right guys, this is what we're doing. And the boys are always ready, you know. There will be high energy, and it'll be back to, it's still my original band.
Yes, yeah.
We've recently got a few other gigs coming up as well. The Derry Jazz Festival has us back.
Yeah.
Seven Hills Blues Festival has us back in Armagh in July.
Belfast City Blues Festival,
Belfast
that's coming
City
back
Blues
again,
has us back
isn't
at the end of June. Cork Jazz Festival has me back in October. And I never missed the Cork Jazz. I always did it because it was 26 years been playing it in a row, and it's a special one for me, you know.
Yeah.
So no matter how low it got, I always pull myself together enough to get through the weekend, you know. And that's what kept the fire going.
Yeah.
And now I just need to let loose again.
Yeah.
And just bring my high energy back, you know.
Brilliant. Well, we look forward to the gig on the 13th. Just to finish on as well, now, I think you told me this years ago, maybe I read this somewhere. Did you once electrocute yourself on stage? Or did I dream that?
Yeah, but not on purpose. I've done some mad things, you know. So in May 1984, I got electrocuted. And the first song at a gig.
Right.
It was a fault in the electrics. It was my amp was connected. But anyway, cut a long story short, as soon as I touched the microphone, because of the metal stand, the metal bass,
yeah.
I earthed myself, and that was it. That was me. I couldn't let go. And the electrics went up. There was a hole right through my hand. You could actually see right through my hand. I had to get plastic surgery. It split my collarbone in two. There was an exit hole there. I was paralysed down the left-hand side for a year. Ended up, it was touch and go.
Yeah.
The paramedics couldn't bring me back. They had to get an adrenaline injection through the bone to get the heart going again.
Wow.
Then I suffered from PTSD.
Yes, yeah.
After that, for a while, and I and memory loss. I got married the year before that, and I have no recollection of that day. I mean, it's as if it was somebody else's wedding. I wasn't there, basically. As far as I'm concerned, that literally I would meet people sometimes. I would go, "Oh God, I was here such and such at the wedding." Like,
yeah.
I can't remember. It's gone. But there was a whole lot of stuff, you know. But thankfully, maybe, and you know, I'm thinking maybe the electrocution and the PTSD was never resolved. Maybe that led to then the self-harming and the addictions down the line, because I kind of ignored it and just got on with life, you know. I had a young family, and a very young family, and coming up a couple of years later, and I had no time to sit around getting constant. I was paying a mortgage, working 50 hours a week, and gigging at night. So I didn't stop. But men are like that, aren't we?
Yes, I know.
We just, you know, you just get on with it, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
But somewhere along the line, something was eating at me.
Yeah.
And it came to the surface. But I've dealt with it. I've been in a dark place, and I'm now back.
You're back.
And I'm proof that you actually can do it. You can do it if you want to, you know. I always remember there's a bucket, milk, 2 mice.
Yeah.
They climb up to have a drink of the milk, and they fall in.
Yeah.
One mouse drowns. The other mouse, it kicks and kicks and kicks and churns the milk into butter and climbs out. That's me.
So Lee, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being so open and honest with us as well. I know you've got the harmonica there with you. Will you do something for us?
Of course I will.
Yeah?
Yes, I will. Travel everywhere with a harmonica in my pocket, you know. All right, this is a song called Sweet Thing.
Wow.
Baby, I just bring your sweet thing. Baby, I just bring your sweet thing. Oh, but I won't be your sweet thing for you no more. Well, your friends think I'm the devil. And you are an innocent saint. Baby, I know the difference. Baby, I know you ain't. Oh, baby. just been a good thing for you. Oh, baby, just been a good thing for you. Oh, but I won't be a good thing for you no more. That's it.
Wow, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Lee, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Robin. Thanks.
Still to come, we'll be chatting to Scarlett Moffatt, star of TV's Gogglebox, and we'll find out why Victoria Barkley is on a mission to get everybody dancing this weekend. We'll find out more right after these.
Here we are on the north coast, where sporting legends are made. He needs this putt to advance to the next stage, but can he do it? The crowd are holding their breath. Can he cope with the pressure?
Dad, would you take the shot?
Yes! Yeah.
Well, and welcome back to Robin Elliott tonight. My next guest is on a mission to get everybody out there dancing. In fact, you can join her at number 2 Royal Avenue this coming Sunday. We'll find out more. Victoria Barkley is with us. How are you?
Very, very well. Thank you so much. I'm always on a mission to get
You're
people
on a mission
dancing.
to get people dancing, but
Yeah.
that's your thing.
That's my thing.
You are a
That
dance
is my
teacher,
thing.
so of course you're going to be doing this.
I am a dance teacher and I am determined to get people dancing.
Yeah.
And especially people who think, I can't dance, I am determined to get them dancing.
So can you teach anybody out there to dance?
Yeah. So it's 99% of the time confidence.
Yeah.
So they will say, I can't dance.
Yeah.
I can't dance. So then they won't try it.
Yeah.
But Robin, honestly, see if you break it down and
Yeah.
go, okay, let's think about it. We're going to walk here with music. And we maybe put one foot in front of the other, step to the side and close. People then realise, oh, hold on, maybe I can do it. And then the confidence builds and then they're dancing. It may take some people a slightly longer time than others, but there is no reason why anybody cannot dance. Yeah.
Because over the years, I've been asked a whole load of times to do those Strictly
Yeah,
type
and you
things.
must.
And I always...
I'm going to get you to do one.
I judged a couple of them,
know,
but I always turn it down when they say, do you want to get on the dance floor
Yeah.
there? Because I
But
know
next
there's always
time-
going to be people who are going to be a million times better than me on there.
But no, the journey, I was going to use the word the journey, but that's not what it's about. It's about getting you into that dance rehearsal space from scratch.
Yeah.
And then the end product of you 8 weeks, 10 weeks later in front of 400 or 500 people in a hotel dancing. Robin, you could totally do something wonderful. Cha-cha, get you waltzing around. You must do it. The next one, you must do.
Right.
Yeah, it's a deal.
Okay. Let's talk about the 2nd of March. Okay, you've teamed up with Angela Rippon for this, haven't you?
The wonderful Angela Rippon. So she has launched this huge nationwide campaign called Let's Dance. So it is everywhere. It is Northern Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales. So she's spearheading this. So she wants to get everybody dancing purely to prove the benefits that it has for people's mental well-being, their physical well-being. So lots and lots of events are running here, there and everywhere, and we're running one in Belfast, as you just said, the fabulous 2 Royal Avenue, which is just gorgeous.
And of course the venue that I did my Christmas show in this year as well,
did
so
you?
this very programme.
Fantastic, and that big dome.
Love it, I love it.
People don't realise, I love watching them coming in the front door and they think, oh, this is nice, and then they just look up.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful building.
Exactly. So what's happening then on the 2nd?
So we are there from 11 o'clock until 2 o'clock and it is a free event. So that is the thing. Wherever you're going to, there's loads of people running these events. So if you see Let's Dance happening anywhere, they're free.
Okay.
They're all free. So you're welcome to come in. We have different facilitators doing workshops. So not just you sitting down and watching other people perform for you.
You're going to get to try it as well.
This is a chance for you to try it. Sometimes it's daunting going to a dance class, and maybe there's people who are already established there or have been going for a while. So this is just for anybody to come and dip their toe, try it, join in. They might love it. They might find they love some aspects of it and maybe want to try something different. So we have different workshops running. I'm doing ballroom and Latin workshops, so people can get up and dance, which I love, as you know. And then we have line dancing happening, so there are people here who do line dancing, the Lightning Lads. And then we have a fantastic girl from the May Murray Foundation, which I know you've mentioned before, Talia McDowell. So she's in a power chair, and she is going to lead our inclusive workshops on Sunday the 2nd, And then we also have one of the rock choirs.
Yeah, oh brilliant.
So the rock choir is coming, and they're going to sing 4 or 5 numbers, and we're going to dance.
Excellent.
So the benefits of live music, dancing, will be in full flow.
So if people want to come along, do they need tickets?
No,
how does it work?
Not at all. They literally just put on their glad rags or whatever they want and come to 2 Royal Avenue on Sunday from 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
Brilliant. It sounds like a fabulous event. The very best of luck with it.
Thank you so much.
We're going to do the What's On guide now, and then we're going to come back again because we've got more dance on the show. We've got a Maiden Voyage dance company standing by with a lovely Sandy Cuthbert as well. So, Sandy will be on. Anyway, Victoria, good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Time now for our What's On guide, where we see what's happening throughout Belfast and beyond over the next week or so. We're starting off with a show for all you punk music fans. So why not go on a punk and new wave journey like no other with Punk Off at the Ulster Hall on the 2nd of March. Kevin Kennedy, best known for his role as Curly Watts in Coronation Street, he's going to be your narrator for the show. And this show features hits originally performed by the Sex Pistols, the Clash, Blondie, the Damned, the Ramones, the Buzzcocks, the Undertones, Ian Dury and the Blockheads, and many, many more. Now we're off to the Ards Art Centre in Newton Ards, and they're pleased to welcome 2 new art exhibitions to their Georgian and Sunburst galleries. Veiled is a solo exhibition by Emma Stewart, and We're All Mad Here is a solo exhibition of new work by Keith Drury. And Emma Stewart's work focuses on the representation of the female form in historical art, while Keith Drury's latest series, We're All Mad Here, is taken from Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. And this intention of his new body of work is to create a narrative and open up conversations about mental health issues. And both of those exhibitions are free, and for more information check out the website www.andculture.org.uk. We're off to the Grand Opera House now, where we're celebrating 40 years of the legendary musical Les Mis, and you can join the province's greatest homegrown talent at the Grand Opera House between the 4th and the 8th of March. And for the first time, by special permission from Cameron McIntosh and Music Theatre International, the Belfast Operatic Company, in collaboration with 2 other societies and the Grand Opera House, are bringing you this very special show. Moving on to the Lyric Theatre, and Druid return with 3 classic rip-roaring one-act plays by one of Ireland's greatest playwrights, following their sold-out run of Druid O'Casey in 2023. And the 3 short comedies by Sean O'Casey are A Pound on Demand, Bedtime Story, and The End of the Beginning. And you can catch those shows at the Lyric between the 4th and 8th of March. The historic Portico of Ards in Portaferry is set to come alive with vibrant music, arts and cultural events as the much anticipated Feel Good Festival returns and runs right through until the 31st of March. So prepare to awaken your senses and welcome in spring with 5 weekends of sumptuous sounds, celebrating energy and renewal. And this festival really does have something for everyone. Check out the full lineup at www.porticoards.com. And finally for now, if you want to catch a movie in cinemas this weekend, Captain America Brave New World has arrived. And after meeting with the newly elected US President, Sam finds himself in the middle of an international incident, and he must discover the reason behind a nefarious global plot before the true mastermind has the entire world seeing red. Here's a clip from the movie.
Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
Now, staying with the subject of dance, and Maiden Voyage Dance Company are back with a new production called Moonlight Dream, and that show takes place as part of this year's Belfast Children's Festival on the 8th and 9th of March at the Crescent Arts Centre. I went along to the rehearsals to catch up with the choreographer and to find out more. Here's what happened. So we're here in rehearsals today then. How's the rehearsal process going so far?
It's been going great. We've been creating this piece in collaboration with composer Ursula Burns and 3 dance artists. It's been a wonderful process. I've been feeling very welcome here, and there's a lot of care. It's a smooth process throughout. It's really nice.
So tell us about some of the main kind of themes around this piece. What's it all about then?
So it's a cosmic odyssey. It's a baby's cosmic odyssey. It's a trip to the moon. In a metaphorical way, we're talking about the gentle transition of a child into sleep. And here it becomes a whole journey where we skip through clouds, we cross oceans, we meet 2 nighttime friends, a fox and a bear, and we travel towards the moon.
Brilliant, okay. So who should come and see this show? Obviously it's on as part of the Belfast Children's Festival.
So this piece is designed having early years in mind. So we have created this piece taking into consideration sensory stimulation for little ones, so from 0 to 3 years old. But there is a whole story and a dramaturgical arc that the whole family can enjoy. So older children are very welcome to enjoy the journey.
You mentioned Ursula Burns there, who's doing the music for this. Live music on stage as well.
Live music and also a whole contemporary classical suite originally composed for the piece on the harp and the piano. Ursula is a very talented musician. We're very, very lucky to have her in this process. And we've been working together since the beginning. So we've been working together through the whole rehearsal period, creating the music and the dance at the same time. So it's all created as a one work.
What about the dancers on stage themselves? You've got some fabulous dancers, including Sandy Cuthbert, who's been in the business for like over 40 years now.
Well, the group is amazing because we have three dance artists who have their own respective practice. They are also makers. They're also developing their own work. So each one of them is bringing a very unique voice into the mix, and it's been a very collaborative process. We've been figuring out the piece step by step all together. It's been really wonderful to have such open and imaginative artists in the group. It was a great collaboration.
Brilliant. So if people want to come and see this, it's on the 8th and 9th of March at the Crescent Arts Centre.
Yes, exactly, in the Cube, part of the festival. It is commissioned by Maiden Voyage Dance and Luel. Yeah, we're waiting for the families to come and enjoy.
Brilliant. Well, good to see you, and the best of luck with it.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.
And you can catch Moonlight Dream at the Crescent Arts Centre on the 8th and 9th of March. Now, Kim Kelly has been catching up with the former Gogglebox star, Scarlett Moffatt. She'll be chatting to Scarlett right after these.
Let the good times roll at Super Strikes at the Jet Centre. You can now book your lane online. We've got 14 bowling lanes and 4 mini bowling lanes. Plus we serve delicious hot food and snacks, or enjoy a cold beverage with your food after the game. Discover bowling today at the Jet Centre. Jet Centre. Entertainment for everyone.
And welcome back to Rob and Elliott tonight. Right, we're taking a look at some brand new research now that shows that we are a nation of people obsessed with lounging about in our pyjamas. Kim Kelly has been chatting to Scarlett Moffatt to find out more. Here's what happened.
I'm going to show you what I'm wearing, okay? Do you see my pajama bottoms? Because I work from home, I generally am only dressed from the waist up. That's a little secret about me, and my guest, Scarlett Moffatt, is here to give us some new research on this topic. Scarlett, we all love our jammies, don't we?
We all love our gym jams, and you know what? Yours are very, very cute. Very cute.
Always dressed like this, Scarlett. This is like every day. I kind of read this research and went, that's me. Oh no.
No, I think it's good. So Safe Style did loads of research, and 61% of people, as soon as they get in the front door, put on the pajamas, and those are the type of people that I want to be friends with.
I always do that. Now, I tend to, as soon as I get home, I'm in my ordinary outdoor clothes. I tend to put my dressing gown on. That's usually the first step.
Ooh.
I like a dressing gown, like a kind of a house coat. Do you remember? Now, you're a bit young, but do you remember back in the day, teachers used to wear those pennies with the little pockets?
Yes.
Kind of like that.
Oh, cute. I love that you've got like an order. I love that you've got a routine. Like, I'm in the house, and then it's like a safety blanket, isn't it? I feel like as soon as you get home, it's almost like you're saying, right, all of that's done with now. I'm in my safe space. Let me be comfortable.
Nice, clean pair of jammies. Now, do you have orders of jammies? Do you have jammies just for sleeping and then kind of working pajamas?
Do you know what? I love that you love pajamas as much as me, because I feel like I have specific pajamas. Like, I love a theme. So Valentine's Day, for example, me and my little boy Jude, matching pajamas.
Now, you're looking absolutely fabulous. You're not really like the girl who we first met on Gogglebox, because she kind of looked like more like a pajama girl. Look at you.
Yeah.
Then it's been a long time now, hasn't it? How have those years been? You've come from sitting on the sofa in your jammies to this.
So it'll actually be a decade next month. A decade. Yeah. So my little sister, because she appeared on a couple of Goggleboxes with us, but she was only 8 at the time. She was at primary school, so we would always film late, so she was asleep. And then on the odd occasion she chose to be in the show, we would let her, like, depending on the show. She's now 18 at university.
That's mad, isn't it? And how has life changed for you? I mean, obviously, you can't really go out in your pajamas. There's that wonderful quote from Cheryl Cole, where, you know, that sooner or later, you can't, you know, the one that you just can't go to the petrol station in your pajamas
anymore. You just can't, even if you want to. Do you know what? I should probably take a leaf out of Cheryl's book, because I do go places in
me too.
I recently did a click and collect in my pajamas, you know, like where you collect the food. We actually have some stats specific for Belfast.
Give me the stats.
Well, these are specific for Belfast. So 74% of those surveyed have taken the bins out in the pajamas, and 17% have taken the bins out in just their undies.
It's so cold here. You've been to Belfast, haven't you, Scarlett? Have you been over here? It's absolutely Baltic in Belfast. Are people really going out in their undercrackers? This is really great research. I love it. But yeah, I mean, I do the bins all the time. Belfast is kind of made up of a lot of alleyways and back alleyways. It would be a bit like Manchester or those sort of Innals, isn't that what you call them in England? And yeah, so you'd always see people going down the alley in their jam.
They must just be. I think it's nice. We know our neighbours. I'm sure if they see you in your undies a couple of times, it won't matter.
So what is next for you then? Do you have any big projects coming up?
Do you know what? I've got a few TV projects coming up. I'm really enjoying sort of doing social media, actually. It's something that I never thought that I would love so much, but actually I think it's nice to show a bit of a real side to life. I think sometimes, like you say, it can all seem very pristine and just glam, when, I mean, it's sure it's lovely for some people, but my life isn't like that. And I just think it's nice to remind people that we're all in it together.
We are, and anybody out there who's not following you, do follow Scarlett, because she's just such a normal young mum going through the ups and downs.
Thank you.
It'll, you're not going to feel bad about yourself. You're just going to go, oh my goodness, I'm exactly like this too. How old is Jude now?
So he's 2 in June.
They're gorgeous at that age. They're gorgeous at that age. They really are. But honestly, it just gets better as you go along. It honestly gets better. And you look back and think, I couldn't do the young years again. It just gets better and better. And does he like his jammies too?
He loves his jammies. I mean, I'll be honest, he actually wears clothes more than me. So when I wake up, the first thing is like, okay, we'll get you dressed. If Mum's still in her pajamas, it doesn't matter, but we can't have you. You haven't got a choice, so I will make sure you're dressed.
If you're not leaving, like mothers, listen to this, if you're not leaving the house, and some days it's really bad weather, you've nothing on, you work from home, whatever, do not feel like you have to get dressed. Like, have a shower.
Don't add more washing. Washing is the bane of my life.
I don't mind the washing, but I don't like the putting away, and there's just too much. Girls, stay in your pajamas. There's no need to put on makeup.
I agree, and if it makes you feel better, if you go on Safe Style's website, there is literally a list, some will make you laugh, of things that people do in the pajamas, and you will feel better about yourself, because, 3% of people go to the tip in the pajamas.
So would you think about bringing out your own range of Scarlett Moffatt pajamas?
I would love that,
The Primark.
Why have I never thought of this before?
Primark range, or you call it Primark, don't you? The Primark Scarlett Moffatt, that would sell so well.
I'm going to have to make some emails today.
Get onto that immediately. And like a onesie, I love a onesie because you can get that on over your gym leggings.
Do you know what though? I'm only 5 foot.
Fine.
No, onesies and me,
you could roll them.
Well, it's not that. It's what's the polite word? Is it gusset?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
The gusset is always basically knocking me knees, and I'm like, this isn't made for people with little legs.
I love that word gusset because I feel the same way about trouser suits, and those things that girls wear, those all-in-one things.
That again,
around the gusset area.
Gusset by my knees. It's not a good look.
I feel this isn't talked about enough.
We need to. No, it actually isn't.
What does Scott think about you constantly being in jammies? He's probably just used to it, isn't he?
Well, I've introduced him to jammers because when I first met him, and I remember we'd moved in together, and I was like, "Are you not going to put your jammers on?" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, you got to put your jammers on, be comfortable." And he's like, "I don't own any," but now he owns a lot of. 6 years later, he owns lots of pairs.
Leisure wear.
Yes.
So what have we learned today? We have learned that it's okay to put out the bin in jammies. We've learned that short girls shouldn't really wear jumpsuits. And those are important. And girls, if you've got a problem with your gusset, we're here with you. It's fine. So I think those are important messages moving forward.
I feel like this is, we've solved a lot of problems here, a lot of world issues.
Honestly, if you put us in charge of some government department, things would be okay. We just sort it out for people and we just move on. As I always say, it's the girls in charge, isn't it?
It is.
It's been so lovely meeting you, and thank you very much for coming and talking so frankly about your love of pajamas.
Thank you so much.
Great, and keep on wearing those jammies. Thank you so much, Scarlett Moffatt.
Thank you so much.
Great interview, and great to see Scarlett Moffatt on the show. That's all we have time for this week. We'll see you back here same time next week. Bye-bye.